And welcome back to another episode of Mount Josmore. I'm your host, Joz. This is my show where I give you my breakdown of the top things of whatever topic I so choose. We're going to see if we can move that guy over a little bit so I'm a little more centered on my screen here. Sorry for the shaking and the rattle and the roll, and I moved some things around in the office. And so here we are. I took a couple weeks off. I needed a break. Very busy end of my spring into the start of my summer. Things have been crazy, wild, hectic, and just all over the place. So I took some time off, but we are back. Going to try to get back on post here. Not only doing Mount Josmore, but the revamping of my prep baseball podcast, Tip of the Cap podcast. If you're a prep baseball guy, high school, looking to play in college, travel ball, player, family member, whoever, coach, whoever, tune into that. I'll put that out. You can check that out, Tip of the Cap Baseball, on Facebook and all the other stuff. But this here, Mount Josmore. That's me. That's the sign. I'm still getting used to this part of this on the camera. Check me out on the social media. I don't use this anymore. I don't use Joz Says on X. I'm going to be probably deleting that at some point. Notorious _Joz on Instagram, Joz of Life 25 on TikTok. Like, follow, share, subscribe. We will do all the cool stuff there. But for the meantime, we are going to get into this week's topic, this week's Mount Josmore. And in honor of it being the heart of baseball season, the MLB draft happening as we speak. And shout out to Western New York native Matt Barr for getting drafted in the 5th round of the MLB draft this year. Had the pleasure and the unfortunate discomfort of coaching against him, throwing 95 plus in game at a D3 JUCO. So that was fun to see. But all that being said, it is baseball time. It's the heart of summer. It's baseball's America's pastime. I don't care what anybody says. People may like football more currently, but at the end of the day, it's a baseball country. I don't care what you say. So I've done a couple baseball ones. The most recent one, I believe, was the top fictional baseball players. This one is back to reality, but I'm going with my Mount Josmore of MLB baseball jerseys. And I limited to MLB because there are some wild college jerseys out there that I love. You start breaking into independent ball, minor league ball. You get into some of the college leagues, some of the CBLs out there, and then travel ball. And it's out of hand. We'd be here all day. There's no way to narrow it down. As it was, this list was tough to narrow down. And this is, again, here's the rules. My opinion. This is what I think. This is how I feel. You may disagree. You may not like what I have to say, but it is my opinion, and I am entitled to it, and as are you. And I encourage all of my followers, all of my listeners, watchers, whatever you're doing, to take this with a grain of salt. If you disagree, feel free to state your point in the comments down below. Let me know what you think I'm right on, what you think I missed the mark on, what especially these ones, what jerseys you like, what jerseys you don't, and kind of go from there. And the only thing I ask is that nobody likes an internet troll, so be nice. Don't be trolling people. Don't be an asshole on the internet. There's enough of that out there, and we don't need to keep perpetuating that stereotype. Just because you're behind a keyboard doesn't mean you get to say whatever you want. You can disagree, but stay respectful. That is really my main rule here with the comments on the videos. With that being said, let's get into it here. It's my list and I can't miss, and let's start, as we always do, with the old honorable mentions. No way to start a best baseball jersey list of any kind without the 3 main classics out there, right? Jerseys that have stood the test of time. They don't make my Mount Rushmore, but I would not be able to do this list without mentioning them. This to me is like mentioning a wrestling list without mentioning Hulk Hogan. You may not like the guy, you may not appreciate him. He might be a dirtbag, but you cannot mention current professional wrestling without the man because that's just how it is. With that being said, the classics, the Yankees pinstripes / the all grays for the away uniform, I believe it is for them. Not a Yankees fan, grew up a Yankee hater, but the iconic Yankees pinstripes are just something you cannot argue with. And very much in the same vein, the Red Sox and the Dodgers all have very simple, iconic, long-lasting uniforms. The Red Sox going with the gray and the white basically matching. They have a couple other, all teams now have City Connect jerseys. We'll talk about a couple of those in the process. Stuff like that. But, those three, the clean white Dodgers uniform, the super clean Red Sox jerseys, and the iconic Yankees jerseys that really haven't changed ever, have to make the honorable mention. You have to talk about them because when you have a jersey, I mean, when we talk jerseys in sports, they change all the time. There are rebrands, changing colors. Teams will move and change names, whatever it might be. But those three, I feel like, have really stood the test of time with very little to no change and or modification, other than potentially like a slight modernization of the logo, because technology has gotten better in creating those things. So right off the bat there, getting the classics out of the way, not on Mount Rushmore, and I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of love from Yankees fans down there, because Yankees fans love telling people how they're wrong about not liking the Yankees as the top thing of ever, forever, and ever, and ever, and ever, and ever, and ever. But I also, someone's going to make the comment about the rings, and if you weren't alive for the last one, I don't think you get to talk about it. People my age have only been around for like 3, so I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to go there. Moving on, the 1971 Orioles all orange. There's a couple all color uniforms here. I love them. Okay, like the NFL has kind of taken this with like a color rush approach. I am a huge fan of this. There are college teams that do like an all orange and all red, stuff like that. The Orioles all orange top, orange pants, orange hat, black accent to it with a little bit of white to make it pop. Fantastic. I love it. I would do, if I could create uniforms for my team, and there are colors this does not work with. Banana yellow should be reserved solely for the Savannah Bananas. That being said, all blue, all black, all red. Love the all orange here. Gray, it has to match. All right, I play on a team. I play for an organization that has a gray uniform that does not match the gray pants, and it drives me up the frickin' wall. It would look awesome with black pants. I brought that up, and I was told that black pants are too warm, despite the fact that we generally only play under the lights, so the sun's not a factor. And if that's the case, don't wear them on a Sunday 10 o'clock in the morning game. But they would look really good with black pants and a black hat. I was also told that would look like softball. I don't care. I like it. If I ran the show, that's what it would be. But I digress. The all orange is a sweet look. I really, really liked that. I think it was a really, and like I just don't. I'm different, right? You'll find this throughout this list. Color schemes in my life. I wear a lot of black. I love the color blue, red. Both go well with black. They both go well with each other because go Bills. But I like, when it comes to jerseys, I like different. I like not necessarily modern, because I like one of the jerseys. I've created a ton of jerseys in my life for different sports teams I've run and played for, and we've done some pretty cool stuff with them. But I like different, right? I like off the beaten path, and the all orange to me is off that beaten path. The Pirates yellows, and I know I said yellow didn't work, but the Pirates yellow and banana yellow are two different things, right? So the banana yellow, like the bright punch you in the face yellow, this is the older like Pirates yellow. It's not quite gold, but it's not like punch you in the face yellow. It's more like, I don't even know if school bus yellow is the right word for it, but it was more like somewhere between like school bus yellow and mustard yellow, and not like Frank's mustard, not the punch you in the face yellow, but the 1977 and 1984 Pirates yellows. And the thing that made these jerseys, so this is kind of an overall uniform thing, the square conductor hats that they wore. It was a black hat with a little bit shorter brim, had the P on the front, and it had the 2 yellow stripes going all the way around. They called it a square hat or a box hat. I refer to these as conductor hats because they look like the hats that old school train conductors wear. These jerseys were sweet. I think they're awesome, and if the Pirates brought them back for a season or two, I'd probably spend a season or two being a Pirates fan, despite the fact that they're about as hapless as a franchise as the Sabres. If you know, you know. and if you know, you understand the pain. Moving on, the Astros throwbacks. So these are I'll call it the throwbacks. I didn't write down the actual years that they wore them, but you know this as the classic throwback baseball uniform, where you have the colored stripes coming up and then fading or like chopping to a white shoulder on the shirt, and they did it with like the orange yellow, and they had like the I believe it was the navy blue like Astros across the chest. This is the go-to when someone's trying to make a throwback style uniform in this day and age, whether it be for a travel team, your softball team, whatever. Like this is when someone says like the throwbacks, this is the baseball throwback that people think of. It would be hard for me not to mention this list without that, because there are plenty of teams, organizations out there, organizations, whatever you want to call them, at every and all levels of baseball that have used this exact look for a throwback. I even did one myself that had it had like the powder blue going up it. It didn't have the line segments, but after we created that jersey, a team in Western New York kind of copied it with that same throwback look of the Astros with their colors, and incorporated another factor of the jersey that I created, which we'll talk about in a minute, into their look. But that's the throwback look of a jersey when you talk baseball throwbacks, in my opinion, at least. Staying on point here, the Diamondbacks white with purple sleeved pinstripe vests. So they had white pants, white top, and the top was was a sleeveless shirt, and they wore a purple T-shirt underneath it with the their logo on the shoulder, and it was, I believe, black pinstripes down the white shirt. And I love this one because this to me was like Randy Johnson in his prime, just throwing straight cheddar from the left and making birds explode when he hits them. The Diamondbacks have gone to a lot of like more modern looks recently. I like some of the text that they use on their jerseys. The more subdued, like maroon and like more, not quite gunmetal, but like a darker gray kind of color. I like those, but nothing stands up to the pinstripe vests. Those were just great. I loved that look. I played for a team at one point that did like vests, the vest thing. I liked the fad while it was out there, but now that it's gone, I don't ever want it to come back. Like as a player, like I don't know that I would ever do a vest look unless I found a way to do it with mesh, but still, maybe there's some like wiggle room out there for like the college, from a college standpoint, because we play so early, it doesn't really matter. Like you want more layers on, but yeah. Anyway, all of that being said, I'm trying to figure out what's like dancing. Aha, found it. Cat hair. Sorry about that, guys. I was like, what is dancing across my screen? It's driving me nuts. I'm sure it's driving you guys nuts, especially if you have ADHD like I do. In the same vein, moving a little bit more modern here, the 1999 to 2000 Devil Rays. You know this jersey. You've seen this jersey. It was the white, and they had like the teal to aqua green to teal fade across, whether it said Devil Rays or when they changed it just Rays. It was that look across the front. I thought it was really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed that look. And again, it was just kind of off the beaten path, a little bit different, a little bit of a change, and kind of going in that right. Again, I like the weird. I like the different colors, like something that's just not the same old. And then my last one on the honorable mentions, and I'm sure I've missed a couple that you guys will let me know in the comments, but the first one that this was a borderline for me. And if not for one of the other ones up here, this one would have probably made my Mount Rushmore. And I probably would have finished with this one because I like finishing with the ones that people are like a little controversial about or not so like. I think I started like I'm going to get a lot of flack for the Yankees / Red Sox / Dodgers classics. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this one too because not all of these are loved. But MLB started doing, and the NBA did it as well. And the two other sports are starting these things. The City Connect collection, right? This one specifically was one of the first ones they put out. This is the 2021 Chicago White Sox City Connect jersey. All black with white pinstripes. So give me the mafiosa pinstripe suit look. I'm all for it. I'm in. I love it. Let's do more. Then they put Gothic font on the front. Awesome. And then the City Connect. And if you don't know the City Connect, what they do is they do like if the city's got a nickname, they'll use it. I know, I want to say either the NBA or the MLB, one of the Chicago teams, like put Chi-Town on the front. These ones said Southside in Gothic font. If I want to buy one of these jerseys just to have one. Like next time I order jerseys from my jersey guy, I may try to get one because I like them that much. The White Sox are bad at baseball. They are not good. Their franchise is floundering, to say the least. These jerseys, they nailed them. Other people have done City Connect jerseys that are just straight garbo. That being said, 2 of them made Mount Rushmore. If I did a reverse Mount Rushmore, like a Mount Shamemore, I would probably have a couple other City Connect jerseys on here. But I don't. So the first one that makes the actual Mount Rushmore here, and again, these are in no particular order other than the fact that I will go from, in my opinion, the more common to the more debatable / controversial. The first one here is it's from a team that doesn't exist anymore. The Montreal Expos had some elite jerseys, like some really, really good jerseys. But the powder blues were just so chef's kiss. A lot of teams did this powder blue look. I don't know if the Expos were the first, but the color scheme just worked. I remember seeing versions of the powder blues for, I believe, the Phillies, but like it didn't rock with the maroon. But the powder blue on the red and white with kind of the royal blue just worked. And they had the same version in straight white and I believe gray as well. But these powder blues, a powder blue set just hits different. And I don't know if it would look as good in the modern era. Like, I don't know if a team did like powder blues, if it would look as good as these did. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's like the jersey style, the jersey cut, the material. I just don't think they would look that good. So numero uno on Mount Josmore for my favorite baseball jerseys, MLB baseball jerseys of all time, the Expos powder blues. Moving on, staying with this is another older one that the Braves have started to bring back as a throwback / alternate jersey. The throwbacks, and you know them, they're white. They have the blue on the sleeves, and if you look at them closely, it's would call it a Native American feather on the shoulder. These things, if you don't know what these jerseys look like, look them up. This is another one of a jersey that I would buy in a heartbeat. Like, if next time I talk to the jersey man, I am going to heavily debate getting one of these. It's just such a sharp look. It's, again, not traditional. It's not classic. It's a little off the beaten path. And I'll be honest with you, they're so good. They're just so good. I don't even know what else to say about them. And if I had more time to set this up, I probably would have set up slides that pop up in here somewhere with the jerseys I'm talking about. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I don't always have a ton of time to get this stuff done. So I wanted to get it done. Not that this is poor production quality, but adding that in would have just taken more time I didn't really have. With that in mind, moving on, I told you there's a couple City Connect jerseys on here, right? So here we go. The Toronto Blue Jays City Connect jerseys hold a very special place in my heart. They went off the beaten path with their color scheme, and I'm like 99.9% sure that they actually wore these jerseys. And it's not just a like designer thing for like the streets, like for like a streetwear type thing, which the MLB does like to do. I'm actually going to look this up right now. City Connect jersey. Yeah, so looking into these, they are like a lighter black, so not full tilt black. They have blue on them, and if this will load, I'm bogging down my internet here doing this. Of course, all of these. There we go. So it's their City Connect night mode, and if they would show me the actual jersey. This is stupid. They're not showing me the actual jerseys. Anyway, so they're black. They have what kind of looks like, it almost looks like somebody like took the silhouette, like an outline of the city skyline, like cut out the city skyline, put it down and spray painted it. And that's kind of what it looks like. And then it's just the word Toronto in blue and red over it with the numbers on the back. This jersey is so sharp. And again, it's one of my favorite color schemes. As a whole, and some of the Blue Jays other jerseys are really nice too, but this one, the City Connect, this is just so sharp, and this is one you could probably wear, and I don't know what color pants they do this with, but you could do white, you could do black. I don't know if you would do gray with these, but you could, because gray is one of those neutrals. You could also probably do blue, and it would probably be a lot, but I don't know if I would hate it. But the jersey itself is fantastic. If you haven't seen them, look them up. The Toronto Skyline thing is a classic thing, and I have a special place in my heart for that too. Again, as I've said, I've created some jerseys in my day for teams I've played for and organizations I've been part of. One of my favorite ones we did, I kind of mentioned the throwback look where it was powder blue coming up. They had the 3 stripes across the chest, and then above that, it broke into the Buffalo Skyline around the entire jersey. They had them around the sleeves. It was a really, really sharp look. And this kind of plays to that, and I'm a huge fan of it. The skyline is only on the front. It didn't go around the back, so the back is just plain. But a nice detail on this is the numbers and lettering goes blue, black, red. So it's almost like a blackout look for the numbers and the name on the front. The name on the back, so the player's name is just straight blue, but the numbers and the font with that like interior blue, middle black, exterior red just pops so well too. I'm a big fan of that. And one of the newer ones, and this one irritates me because I know in my heart, in my soul of souls, that when the rivalry series MLB uniforms come out, that they're going to do the same thing for this friggin' city. And it makes me so mad that the city of Miami has just, because of a TV show, because of the Miami Vice TV show and the color scheme that they used, the Miami Vice look for every team in Miami that does it is so good. So good. The Marlins City Connect jersey that is in the Miami Vice aura, they call it like they when I looked it up, they called it like the retro something. But like, what the hell? How come Miami gets that cool jersey? Like, and again, I'm from Buffalo. And I'm getting off topic here, but when they do the Buffalo rivalry series, I'm going to be really irritated if the only thing they do with that is it's like navy blue and white with the City of Buffalo flag logo that's got like the electric bolts coming off the side and stuff like that. Like, that's going to irritate the crap out of me, because you can get so cool and so creative with some of this stuff, and then like other places are just like, let's do boring. And I guess if one thing is true and one thing will always reign true, it's that the city of Miami will be a lot of things and boring will never be one of them. So there you have it. Let me know what you think about my Mount Josmore. Anything on the honorable mentions that should have made it over any of the ones I picked. Anything that I didn't mention that should have been talked about, feel free to let me know. And as I like to always, and this one hits a little bit closer to home these days with some friends of mine who have made the poor choice that some people choose to make. Be kind to each other out there. You never know what struggles someone is going through, what wars they're fighting that they never talk about, that no one ever sees. And at the end of the day, you're allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to feel your feelings. You are allowed to express those feelings. One of my favorite things is, LA Knight, a professional wrestler, staring at the camera saying, if you have feelings and you need to let it out because it's better than the other choice you may end up making someday. And it doesn't make you less of a man, less of a person in any way, shape, or form. You're allowed to feel all of those things. The only thing you're not allowed to do is quit. So, and I tell people this all the time. I would rather hear about your feelings at 4 a.m. than read about your obituary at 8 a.m. So, guys, be nice to each other out there. Keep on keeping on. And if it's raining and it's storming, just remember, it can't rain forever. The sun will shine at some point. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Another episode of Mount Josmore. We will catch you next time here on the mountain.